Hello and welcome back to the Black Countryman. This week's video is slightly different. You're going to see me walking around doing some pheasant feeders. I just wanted to jump in before the video started to apologise for the popping on the microphone. These were brand new and it was the first time that I was using them, and it wasn't until afterwards that I realised that there was some popping, so I do apologise. Please like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this and some for future content, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the near future. I'm going to take you around on what my Sundays now consist of, living out on the farm, and what I do every Sunday regards to the woodlands, pheasant feeders and waters for the wild game birds that we've got here down at the farm. As you can see, we've got lovely mustard in blossom, and that mustard is now incredibly 6 foot tall. I'm 6'3" and most of it is now taller than me. But in today's episode, I'm going to take you around to the 4 locations where we've currently got feeders. There is going to be another location, but I'll go around and show you exactly what we do, and I'll explain why we do it. So let's go. So the first thing that I always do is I have 2 10-litre watering cans. And we have an IBC that's filled up with natural rainwater. It's nice and clean. But essentially, we've got a faucet at the bottom, and basically what I do every week is, even if the water near the feeders hasn't been touched, I always like to redo it so that there's no algae, no bacteria. So that gets tipped out and they get new water. They get 10 litres so that it's not very wasteful. So yeah, let's get these filled up. Right, let's go to the first feeder and make sure that we do as we said. Empty the water out, put new water in and check the feeder. So we've made it to the first feeder. This is a new feeder that I've put out. However, I did think that this was going to happen. I bought this that came with a spring, and I was impatient and put that spring in with my chickens. However, the new spring that I've then put in this doesn't quite, the spring's almost too long, so I want to put it in with the chickens so that the chickens can easily access the wheat. But the issue that we've got here is that basically every time that there's a slight movement, a load of wheat hits the floor. So as you can see, down here, there's a good handful of wheat down here. And this isn't from the pheasants. Well, it is, but it's also from the squirrels. We've got, as with anything, you put food down, we've got squirrels. So, I'm going to swap the things round. So I might empty the wheat into another container, empty this out, and then put this in. But the main reason why we're actually over here is for the water. As you can see, I don't know if you can see. Let me just bring you over. So as you can see there, that's gone green. That was from last week. So that's had fresh water in it last week. So that's what happens in a week. It gets hot, bit of bacteria. Hope the wind isn't too bad. I have got some new microphones that I've got the muffler on, so I hope that it's better than what it has been previously. Just in case anybody has noticed, next to the feeder there is a trap to catch the squirrels. They're not stupid enough, or haven't been stupid enough at the minute, to go into it because there's such an abundance of food on the floor. Also, this will promote rats, so there will be a video coming out in 2 weeks' time, I should suspect, of me trying to get some of these squirrels. So let's empty this water out, put some new water in, and we'll sort out this wheat situation as well while we're at it. I literally just tip this into the grass around, just so that it's been very dry recently. We're probably on a verge of a drought, if anything. These are all stood up on bricks as well, just to take them off the floor a little bit. This is just an old bucket that we had lying around that I have bought some cup feeders off of eBay, Amazon, one of the delivery services. I actually think that I bought them from, and don't rage, I bought them from probably like a Temu, a Shein, or something like that. So how they're designed is they've basically got a spring in them. The water goes through, fills up the cup. As soon as the cup's full, the spring is fully tensioned, what blocks the valve, essentially, is how that works. So that is now filled back up. Let's go sort out this wheat situation, because one, it's wasting a lot of wheat. I don't want to promote unnecessary rats. I know that the squirrels have been on this, so it's a case of just minimizing, how easy they can get this food. So I'm just going to go get a container so that I can empty this out, and vice versa. So you'll see me in a second. Stop recording. Right, so we've been over to the other feeder that's in the chickens and got this spring feeder, what is a lot tighter, so the wheat won't be falling out 24/7 on every slightest touch. So I'm gonna pour the wheat into this white drum that we've got for the wheat, and oh god, hopefully be able to swap these spring. Oh god, that's gone horrifically. Promote more rats than anything now. Yeah, because I probably could have made that. I actually think the issue was the wheat getting underneath, but this spring feeder is for this one, so so it came with it, so I'm hoping it'll be a bit better. But as you can see, this one's a lot longer. It's and it's just got wider gaps, and it's very movable. So as soon as you moved it, wheat came out. So, but let's get this wheat back in here. Oh, while I'm at it, I'm also just going to tighten these legs up. Load of geese going down to the reservoir. Always nice to see. Right, they're all a lot tighter now. Let's get the rest of this wheat in. I'm actually going to pick up a lot off of the floor, because there is a lot that I just spilled on the floor. So I'm just going to pick this up. I don't think I can. We'll have to just. It'll get eaten up. So, but that was a good job done. That's not on the thread prop. There we go. So that can go back to where it was just there. Okay, that's a bit better. So happy days. Right, funnily enough, the next feeder is literally, if I turn you guys around, next feeder is literally there. Right, so we've made it over to the next set of feeders, what is, I think, about 55 meters or so from the last feeder. This one is the one that I've seen the most squirrel activity at. and it's one that it's previously in previous summers been left out with some food in it. Let me just move you guys slightly, just so that you can see me. So, previous years this has been left out and with food in it in the woodland itself, and they've chewed through it. And I can tell that they're not even going for the bottom bit of the feeder. They're actually going in, getting what they want and coming out, because the wheat is basically pushed up at one end and taken down at another. But there's more than enough there to sustain the pheasants that are in this area. There's definitely a cockbird that I've seen. People may wonder why I've started to feed so early. Basically to try hold the pheasants onto the ground that are already here. They're all wild birds, none have ever been put down here. And essentially, basically whatever we can see is ours, but there is an adjacent farm. And they put feeders down as well, and they don't put any birds down. And essentially I want to, for the first time, have a walkabout on the farm when it gets October. So I want to hold the birds in the area. I think the feeders will come into their own once all of this mustard's been harvested. They're in the mustard, they come and get feed and then they go out. I think once that naturally goes and they then go into the trees that we've got, they're currently roosting in the trees, which is brilliant. It's about, once this is gone, keeping them here so that they don't just bugger off onto all of the other adjacent land. So that's why I've started feeding so early, in pockets where there's tall grass, exactly how the other one was. There's a bit of tall grass with cut around it. There's cover to your left because it's all Christmas trees, and there's cover up there all through long grass and just vegetation. So it's about keeping them here. The other bits are a lot better bit of land for the pheasants, but that's why I've started feeding so early. But the wheat is fine on here, but it is being hammered by the squirrels. And I think, annoyingly, I won't be able to set up in a place where I'll be able to get both feeders at the same time. So I think it'll be a case of setting up at one and then setting up at the other. So I reckon I'll set up at this one because I've seen squirrels at it. I'm not seeing squirrels at that one yet. There's definitely 2 squirrels on the feeders over there, so I'll need to sort them out as well. But I'll be able to pop up a little hide just in the Christmas trees and basically hopefully be able to plink them as they come out and try and get some food. So let's empty this water out and fill this one up, and then we'll go to the next ones and see how they're getting on. So this one, the other one was an old bucket that I drilled the holes out of. This one was used when the father-in-law used to do dried flowers and used to dye them different colours. Very similar thing here. Drilled out the bottom, 3 feeders, 3 cups, put the water in, water comes out. But I want it to be sustainable, recyclable, basically reuse what we had at the farm, so that I could be a little bit, I wasn't wasting as much or having to buy new in. It was a cost thing as well, but it was also just about making sure that I was using the resources that I've got really well. So that's the reason why I did that. This one has all of the blossom come off of these trees here. So these ones do get quite mucky with like all of the blossom off of these trees. So just going to make sure there's no blossom in any of these, which there is now not. So yeah, just being resourcefulness. I don't even know if that's a word, but yeah, just making sure that there was no waste. Another good thing that we've done this year is we're actually cutting bits out as such. So through this woodland, there's actually now a strip cut out so that you can, flush the pheasants out. I think there's going to be 4 or 5 of us when we do the walkabout, so we'll be able to have probably 1 or 2 people walking through and then 1 on either side. But that is this station. The next bit will make you guys laugh on how I get all of my materials down there. Right, I went in for dinner, I'm back now. I've reviewed some of the footage, it's got a few pops. This is the first time that I'm using the wireless microphones, so I've actually put it a little bit lower and turned down the volume, so I do apologise for some of the pops in the earlier footage, and I do apologise if there is any more going forward, but I'm still getting very used to how all of this works. So, as I walked out from having dinner, cock and a hen pheasant on our lawn, so there is birds about, I know that there is. This is going to make you laugh. I've got a trolley here. Normally I have a 4-wheel trolley, but it's in the shed and I don't want to unlock the shed and alarm it and all of that. So this was outside, so I'm just going to use this one to transport the water. So I'm going to load it up. I know that we're going to lose a fair bit of water on the way. So I've got 2 10-litre watering cans, and I then also have a 5-litre one that is also full up. Let's go. Don't spill any water. Now that we're on some smooth road, I'm not spilling as much, which is nice. And the reason why I need this is because it's a good... Okay, I'm spilling more water than what I was a second ago. The reason why I need this is because it's a good 100 metre, 200 metre walk, if not longer. We've made it to the 3rd feeder, what is in the other bits of wood that you can see from where we were earlier. This one has definitely had squirrels feeding on it, but it also has had plenty of pheasants at it. So this one has been here for 2 or 3 weeks now, and at one feeder there was 1 cock and 4 hens, so that went really, this one's doing really well. However, in the mornings as well, I have noticed that there is an abundance of squirrels on it. I saw 2 on it yesterday, I think it was. It's just the nature of the beast. So like that, we'll have to come down, probably set up on the tree that's behind you, with a hide to get the squirrels. But while we're here, we always check how much wheat is in it. Put it in a spring loader. With loads of wheat, shouldn't have to fill that up for a while. You got to think with the wild birds, they know where the food is, but they don't hammer it. They come, they eat, they leave, or they then go into cover. So this one's doing really well. You can see from the foliage being put down here that it is being put down. You can actually hear the pheasants at the next feeder that we're going to be at. I can see it from here, but it's a long woodland, and I can hear them echoing through that. So that's why I put the feeder there. Also, just in case people are wondering, there is a water at each one, because during these times, while it is hot or getting hotter, there's an abundance of food around at the minute. The amount of bugs that are here because of the mustard and all of that. Pheasants have got enough food. Like I said earlier, it'll be once this mustard has been harvested. However, there's not an abundance of water. It's not rained. You could say that we're sort of in a bit of a drought. So it's not rained properly since March, and we're now into the midway through May. So yeah, it's been tough going. But anyway, let's get this water emptied. But because, so just also to give you guys a bit of context, I've lived down here for the last 3 years or so, and we've never had an abundance of wild game birds. and you would have thought that there would be plenty with the woodlands that we've got. And then we've had chickens and we've lost some chickens and vice versa. And one morning, it was Christmas morning actually, we woke up because we were spending it at the brother-in-law's, who lives just over an hour away, and the chickens had been massacred. And it was definitely a fox. So we asked somebody that we know to come down, and they've, since January, have taken 3 foxes off of here, and he has spotted a 4th. Since getting rid of them 3 foxes, and hopefully this 4th, the other wildlife that has improved here is drastic. I saw English partridge down here for the first time ever. We've had French-legged that I've never seen on here, and there's more pheasants than I've ever seen. Normally we see a handful. There's easily, I'm seeing cocks paired up with, I've seen some cocks paired up with just 1 hen, but I've also seen 1 cock paired up with like 4 hens. So this is something that we're not used to seeing. Obviously having the food and water out is helping them stay on the ground, but getting rid of foxes and doing predator control helps ground nesting birds, it helps other bits of the wildlife. Now one thing that I will be doing, we've got an abundance of jackdaws, crows, we've got a corvid problem down here. And I've managed, because of the feeders, they're hanging around near the house, so there'll be an episode of also trying to get some corvids. But let's walk over along the woodland to the next feeder and make sure that one's got water. The reason why I keep looking up is that there is an abundance of pigeons that are darting across the sky. But that's not what we're here to do. We're here to get the feeders, check them over, because this one only got put in on Monday, I think. So it's just making sure that this one's okay. We're at the last feeder and waterer, as you can see. Now, this one is relatively new. I think it got put in on Monday, and it's all trampled down. And it's trampled down. I can see there's like little runs going through there. Whether that's foxes, squirrels, but it's a good sign. It doesn't look, it looks like birds. I have seen pheasants here, and actually I can hear one literally just in front of me here. Check the wheat. The wheat's at a good level. I'm just gonna pull a small bit out. So that put that. Now, funnily enough, when I made this waterer, I couldn't find the clips for it. And because I couldn't find the clips, I improvised and I clipped all of the waters with cable ties. However, I found the clips. I can now actually do these properly. So I'm going to do that. It only take me a few seconds. Pop the cable ties off. 3rd week of March, and there was 8 or 9 pheasants roosting in here. So basically since then I've tried and not disturb this area too much. Whether that's right or wrong, let me know down in the comments. Whether I need to walk through here so they get used to humans, I don't know. Just thought I don't want to keep them pushing them off. They end up going elsewhere basically, with my thought process. But this is the last water. Emptied it, put the new clips on. Water going out. So there we go. 4 feeders, soon to be 5 feeders that we have at the farm. all watered, all made sure that they've still got wheat. So that is my Sunday. My battery's about to die. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment and subscribe.